you were asking me about going to the Blue Front Cafe in Bentonia. That's another little area of blues. This is off of the Trumpet record topic, but it's still in the blues, and we are in the blues archive, so I think we can allow this. But this is a song I wrote about Bentonia and the Blue Front Cafe and Jimmy Duck Holmes. If you don't know the history of that area, Bentonia is a very small community with a very big history of music. The story goes that a man named Henry Stuckey was sent to war and over in France, and he met these two guys from an island nation who had this weird tuning. They played guitar, they were musicians and had this strange tuning, and they taught it to Henry Stuckey, and Henry Stuckey goes back to Bentonia, passes that on to people like Skip James and Jack Owens, and all those guys were great Bentonia blues players. And now we got Jimmy Duck Holmes who carries out on that tradition for us. And if you're ever going down Highway 49, just north of Jackson, south of Yazoo City, the little town of Bentonia, pull in and go to the Blue Front Cafe. He will be there. Jimmy Duck will be there 9 out of 10 times. And you need to just go experience it. It's fantastic. This coming weekend, I think, or next weekend, they're having their big Bentonia festival there. And if you're in the area, you need to go. So Jimmy Duck told me when he said, "You don't play no Bentonia blues. You play that Sam Chapman stuff." And kind of pissed me off a little bit. Enough that I wrote this song about it. brought that tuning home to Skip and Jack Owens too, yeah. And now Jimmy Doug Holmes, you know he carries, yes he carries, oh he carries those old Bentonia blues. You know they've got that strange tuning. Skip James' voice haunts the night, Little town of Bentonia, where your soul can take flight. Little town of Bentonia, where the blues plays all night, yeah. Bentonia. I don't think Jimmy Duck's heard it yet.
Yeah, that was great. You have some more. I know you had some more Lillian stories. I think you wanted to share with.
I wanted to talk to you about her music room, which was really a cool thing. I mean, she was so funny. She always had a tissue either tucked down in her cleavage or tucked under the cuff of her shirt or her watch. Always had a tissue ready. But you would go in her music room and she had a big piano there, and she had a hi-fi cabinet from the 50s there with all the records and stuff, and she would get in there and start spinning records, and she just danced, and she had this habit of doing this little thing. It's just she'd always be, I don't know what that was about, but she would just, she'd dance around and get that tissue. Just such a great time. And we'd sit up there and I'd listen to her play piano. She was a good piano player, and she she helped write a lot of those songs that those guys did that she didn't give herself credit for.
Yeah, there's one she definitely, it was Red Hot Kisses.
Yeah.
She's got the songwriter credit that Sonny Williamson released, a song that she wrote.
Yeah. And so she was always up there composing her own stuff, and she would send me, lyrics to songs. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of my memorabilia from that during Katrina, but she would send me songs that she'd think I should do. One of them was something was everybody gets the blues, and it was just talking about how no matter who you are, where you are, whatever, everybody gets the blues was her little song. But that music room was something else. There was some magic in there. You could feel it with her in the room. Willard never ventured down there. I never saw him, and if he did, it was when I wasn't there. But that was like her sanctuary. He'd sit in that chair.
Sit there smoking.
It was great.
That was his relaxation time.
That was it, yeah. It was like, there we go.
Yeah, did you ever learn any songs that she had suggested, or that she did, or any of the trumpet?
Well, I did never really learn them, because actually she started to get sick, and she wasn't writing as much. Not sick, but just sort of worried about her blood pressure and her triglycerides and her cholesterol and all that stuff. She was always, she talked about that more and more, and ultimately I think that was probably what led to her passing. But no, not really. We didn't ever get together and collaborate. I was really kind of intimidated still, by all of that. In fact, the reason Sam and I bonded so well was because he would run the guys out of the room. He'd say, "Y'all go on, I'm gonna show her something now." And you didn't get that with some of the other people. So
Sam always seemed like, from the interviews I've seen of him, just like a very gentle, sweet spirit. Is that accurate to describe him?
Pretty accurate, although he could bow up too.
Yeah.
If somebody wasn't acting right, he'd get this scowl and might fuss at him to get out of the room, but nothing bad or drastic that I recall.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing funny about Willard, I remember Lillian telling me this, but I also refreshed my memory in an interview I read about it. But because Sonny Boy used to call her all the time, all hours of the night. He may call at 3 in the morning, I need your help, you know. And so Willard got tired of being wakened by it, so he got a phone that had a 35-foot cord that she could take outside of the room and go down the hall and talk, you know. So, leave him alone.
I remember I didn't have one quite that long, but I mean, before we had these, you know, as a teenager, you know, talking to, you know, somebody I'm dating,
Yeah.
sneaking around trying to stretch that cord as
Yeah,
far
you
as I can.
stretch it out till they didn't get all twisted up.
Yep. Of course, we were on a party line too, so then I had to be careful who was listening on around in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have another